You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Weight Loss Wednesday show, we're going to talk a lot more about overall health than just weight loss. But the information that you will learn today will help you to transform your body. And when I say body, remember, I'm always talking about from a health perspective because it is so easy to lose weight and create your ideal body once your body is balanced. And that's really what it's all about. You can achieve a little bit of results for a little bit of time by, as they say, hacking it, which is drastically reducing carbohydrates, over-exercising, any of those things. Sure, that will work in the short term, but what we're looking for is long-term results that are much easier to maintain. And so the nice thing is this, once you realize that we're all individuals and there are three main body types, you can start to see why every recommendation is not equal for everyone. And that means just because one thing worked for one person, it is not necessarily going to work for the other. And then we all know we have friends that can eat lots of carbohydrates, lots of starches, lots of grains, and they don't seem to put on any weight. Where some people, they even just look at it or maybe even have a bite of bread or a grain, and all of a sudden they balloon up another 3 pounds or 5 pounds. I'm going to explain that today. And so much more so from a digestive standpoint, right? Because so much of this goes back to we really not only are what we eat, but we are what we absorb. So this question came in, and again, I'll do this every once in a while as a Cabral house call, a weekend question where I answer about anywhere between 6 and 8 questions from you every single weekend. So those are the house call editions, but this week, this one deserved about a 10-minute show. And it's from Tara. She wrote in, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I love your podcast. So much great information. I would love to hear your thoughts on the 3 meals per day versus 5-6 meals per day question. I have dealt with leaky gut, have multiple food sensitivities, and tend toward very slow bowels as well. So it would seem like smaller, more frequent meals would be beneficial. What's your thinking? Thank you." All right. So Tara, great question. And there's so much debate over this, and there always has been. So we can look at it from a few different perspectives. We were told that smaller meals every 2 to 3 hours was the best way for kind of like weight loss and curbing our appetite. And I'm going to go with that is absolutely true if the meals are small, right? So part of our Fatlocity, part of our like new body transformation client program is a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner with 2 afternoon and mid-morning snacks, right? So just small, maybe 100, 150 calories. It's not about the calories, but it is about the quantity of that food. It has to be easy to digest in between meals. However, for my wellness-based clients, for the most part, most people are on 3 main meals. It's breakfast, AM smoothie, of course, with a little bit extra, depending on if you need to keep more weight on. And then there's lunch, and then there's dinner. And then usually there's a mid-afternoon snack in there if the person is losing too much weight or they need a little bit more of an energy boost, or let's say their dinner is just like 7 hours from when they have lunchtime. They might want a little something mid-afternoon. And then there are other people in my practice who are only having the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I want to explain why those 3 and who it's best for. So I guess I already probably just answered your question. There is no one for every person. So the 3 meals plus the 2 snacks are great if the person's waking up early. So let's say you wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. and then lunch is going to be at noon. So that's 6 hours. So that would allow you 3 hours after your breakfast to have a mid-afternoon snack, and then another 2 or 3 hours after that, mid-AM snack to have lunch, right? And the same with the afternoon snack. You might have at 12 and you might not eat until 6:30, 7 o'clock. So you could have a little small snack in there. That will keep you satiated. I use this for only 2 different people, all right? So someone's coming in from a very poor diet. They're used to just eating a lot of food. I want to make sure that they're never thinking about food. And so that's when I use this 3 main meals plus 2 snacks. I also use it for people who are, let's call them more of an ectomorph with the lower blood sugar issues, meaning like when they don't eat for more than 3 hours, they start to really drop in energy and they can't maintain their blood sugar. I eventually do fix that, but in the short term, I'm allowing them to keep their blood sugar levels regulated because they tend towards hypoglycemia, which means low blood sugar, irritability. Basically, we can sum it up as hangry, right? So I used to be someone who definitely got hangry mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and I needed those snacks. I don't anymore, but I did need them in the past because I had massive adrenal-based issues, thyroid-based issues, meaning like hyperthyroid, and I needed those specific things. So important to look at. 2 main people, low blood sugar, the snacks are okay. And if you're transitioning from eating a lot of food and you're trying to lose weight and you never want to be hungry, that's a great way to do it. Now, the next variation is what I use for myself and what I use for the majority of my wellness clients. It is a breakfast AM smoothie. It's not, you basically have some greens powder, which is what I do when you first wake up, with a nice squeeze of lemon in there. So you get your lemon juice. Some people use apple cider vinegar. I typically don't, but I'm not against it. And I put a little pinch of sea salt in that as well. Then I wait about an hour, maybe a little longer before I have my smoothie. And my smoothie is, again, you can download this for free on my website. All sorts of smoothie recipes. It's typically a nice big cup of blueberries. Sometimes I'll add a different fruit in there with the blueberries as well. I'll add some, if I want, a little bit more greens in there, oftentimes spinach. And I will add in my all-in-one powder, which is just the daily nutritional support. That's the dailysupportshake.com that I offer. And then I'll put in half water and then typically half of a nut milk, or sometimes all water, and I'll add in, a nice big tablespoon of coconut oil or coconut cream. So again, it's always a variation of basically that same thing for my AM smoothie. Sometimes there'll be raspberries in with it. There'll be other things, but that's the main one that works just absolutely fantastic. And oftentimes during the winter, it's cooler out, right? So I put in about an inch of ginger, peel ginger. I throw that in. It makes it very heating, and it's just so good. It really is amazing. Ginger doesn't get the respect it deserves out of herbs, right? It's one of the most powerful herbs out there. It's great for everything from detox to digestive system, strengthening that acid in the stomach. It's good for cleansing the kidneys. Amazing, amazing herb. Antioxidants, wellness, immune support, you name it. Ginger is really good for that. So that's what I do in the morning. And then let's say I do an early lunch. I do that somewhere around 11:30, 12. That's when I have my lunch. And again, this is what I recommend for the majority of people. Mid-afternoon snack if I won't be eating till a little later. But I have a big enough lunch where it satiates me until dinner. And then sometimes I will have that mid-afternoon snack. For most people, this is the absolute best. I'm going to explain why in just a moment. So there's real science behind this. And the last part would just be the 3 main meals. Now, the 3 main meals, believe it or not, are for people who are looking to lose weight. Now, I know this is going to seem like a little bit of a contradiction, but you don't have snacks if you're looking to lose weight. And I'm going to explain why right now. You want your body not oxidizing sugars that are coming in from carbohydrates or excess protein, but you want it actually breaking down body fat to oxidize that. So if you're truly on a weight loss diet, you have eventually transitioned from the first 2 that I was just speaking about. Now, it's okay. Remember, you can transition like that. Everything is not set in stone. You don't always have to go cold turkey, but you transition from having the mid-morning and mid-PM snack. You transition maybe then from having the mid-afternoon snack, or you might always keep that in. But remember, if your body always has new fuel coming in, it's going to use that as a fuel source rather than oxidizing, breaking down your own body fat. So eventually I get my weight loss clients down to 3 main meals, and that's it. And that works exceptionally, exceptionally well. So now one more thing that we need to talk about is that everyone's digestive system is not created equal. I read this originally from a book by George Watson. It's no longer in print. It's a very old book. I love reading very old books. And I read this one about 12 years ago. It's called Nutrition and Your Mind, the Psychochemical Response. Now, there are things in there that I don't believe in. I'm not sure that, Dr. Watson would recommend those things 30 years later. I think he wrote this actually like 50 years ago. I've read this book multiple times, but it talks about how different people oxidize food, meaning break down foods at different rates. Now, I know this, and many, many other doctors, natural doctors know this as well because they've studied Ayurvedic medicine. And in Ayurvedic medicine, you understand that some people break down food faster than others, and they do better with certain foods rather than others. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to get just about the meal timing today. Because again, I give entire 90-minute seminars on this one topic about food and digestion. So keep in mind that if you have leaky gut or you have weak digestion, Tara and anyone else, you don't want to be eating grazing every 3 hours, right? Because the food will still be in your stomach. So if you eat a big breakfast, you eat this bacon and eggs and chicken sausage and, a pound of spinach and 4 avocados, all of these different things, there's no way you can snack in between that meal because that food just sits there in your stomach and it's going to be there for at least 3+ hours, more like 4+ if you have a heavier protein in there. Okay. So keep in mind that to rest and relax the digestive system, you really want to do what I recommend, which is that liquid before lunch. And I've never heard anybody recommend that before, but I've seen it play out now over thousands and thousands of appointments with people that it works better than anything else because you're not using your heavy digestive strength, that means your energy, before lunch, and you only have to use that between lunch and dinner. It's my largest recommendation. If you can do that for 2017, try it out. You will absolutely get a lot of benefit from that. So what can I say? I can say that it's a little different for every person. If you're just getting the whole weight loss thing, doing 2 small snacks between meals is perfectly adequate. If you're looking for overall wellness, I really like the 3 meals plus a mid-afternoon snack. If your energy drops, if your energy never drops, you never need that. And if you're looking for total weight loss, give yourself about 4 hours between meals, maybe a little bit more. And the whole reason why is you want to start tapping into your own body fat. So Tara, hopefully this answers your question. Hopefully this answers everyone's question on not only weight loss, but also how you should time out your meals. Because remember, if you have weak digestion, the food's still in there. You don't want to put undigested food on top of that partially digested food because that's going to cause bloating and gas and distension and possibly acid reflux. So if you're someone who suffers from those things, try to just space out your meals. Don't have those mid-afternoon snacks. Don't have that mid-morning snack. I know that's going to seem like a little bit of a contradiction from what a lot of people recommend, but remember, I have the just benefit of being able to see this play out every day in my practice, and that is what works best. Plus, from a physiological perspective, it makes sense. You don't want to just make a big mush in your stomach of undigested food and partially digested food. It will just slow up that digestion and movement through the stomach. So hopefully this helps. Do feel free to pass on this episode to anyone you believe it could benefit them. And thank you once again for tuning into the Cabral Concept. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.